All right, it's Friday night. Normally we go with Fresh Crack Fridays, right? We've got quite a few bottles here, but I've actually got one that is very particularly interesting to me. So for those of you that are familiar or are not familiar, this year I got my hands on the Sam Adams Utopias. So it's aged in barrels, 28% ABV, right? Illegal in 15 states. They've got that on the label. It's part of their advertising scheme. Pretty interesting. The box reads, an extreme barrel aged beer that pushes the limits of how beer is made and enjoyed. So, out of the box, we've got a ceramic decanter. When I first saw it, I thought it was plastic just because of what's on the outside, right? It's got this interesting little vat window, kind of like what you'd have with the big vats over at Sam Adams. You open it up, you see Sam Adams with a beer. So we'll screw this top off, and we find ourselves with a bottle cap. So, in the spirit of Fresh Crack Friday, let's go ahead and pop it. All right. Whew. Smells like dark pepper, chocolate, I don't know. So we got a little bit of a pour, man down. You can definitely smell their dark beer in there. We'll let that breathe for just a minute. So what brought my attention to this was the fact that they're talking about this is the holy grail of beers, right? Fantastic. I'm not much of a beer guy. I do enjoy the Bourbon County Goose Island. This one is the stout aged in bourbon barrels with coffee added. That's a pretty good one. That's from 2022. And this one is going to be the stout aged in bourbon barrels from 2022. I picked these up from my buddy DJ over at East Ridge Cork and Bottle. Thanks for looking out, man. I appreciate it. They do still have a couple of these on the shelf if you guys are interested. They're decent drinks. I enjoy them quite a bit. But like I said, I'm not a beer guy. So what got me about this is it's barrel aged, right? Here at Barreled Chronicles, we like to finish our beers. We like to finish our bourbons, whiskeys, tequilas, rum, right? You'll see these different ones that I have up here. I've got a Good Times. This is a rye barrel strength. It's 118 proof, and it is going to be a toasted apple. So this is MGP juice. It's finished, right? This is a finished product. People go crazy over this. This is $100 a bottle. I've got a double oaked Nulu right here in my hands. And what this is this also is going to be a finished bottle. This bottle right now in our market, we can find them from $25.99 on up into $89.99. Right now we've got a great deal going on at a lot of the stores around us. I know Hamilton Liquor's got them for pretty cheap, as well as East Ridge Cork and Bottle. Next, we have a Maker's Mark. This is a store pick that I got to help select. It's Honey Bunches of Oak. Pretty neat, right? So the cool thing about Maker's Mark is they actually take different staves. They take 5 different stave profiles in order to age this in. They throw those different staves in there, and I've actually got some behind me. And we run these different staves. They loop them in, open that barrel apart, and they drop these in there, put them all together, and we let that thing age. I believe what Maker's Mark does, and comment, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they let that sit there for a few months with these staves in there. The juice is already aged, right? This is actually one that I laser engraved the label on it. And then I put Cork and Bottle on there, their logo. That's whose store pick it was. Very cool experience. Got to meet a lot of cool people from Maker's Mark. was very interesting. So the idea behind this, right, what inspired me was we're running different scenarios of barrel aged. So tonight, while we let this sit here and kind of open up, I want to talk about a bottle of bourbon that I just recently saw. I'm going to pull it up real quick. Took a screenshot of it. And it's High West The Prisoner's Share. So High West actually came out with a blend of straight whiskey finished in Prisoner's red blended wine, right? So I saw a buddy of mine, Corey, post this on Chattanooga Bourbon Society, and it got me thinking, why can't we take the Prisoner, the red blend, and put it in one of our barrels, let this sit for a couple weeks, get the barrel nice and soaked up with this red wine, and then what we're going to do is come back after that time. We're going to take something like a barrel proof Elijah Craig. That's something that Corey suggested. We're going to look into it and make sure that's what we want to do. We may go with another Heaven Hill product because that's something that we haven't seen in our market, and that's something that we can do. We can take something that we like from the store, a Heaven Hill product, and throw it back in this barrel and we can recreate it, right? So with that being said, let's go ahead and pop the top on this wine. Hopefully I got this thing shut. Probably not. My wife will kill me. So then when I'm done with this, my wife will have a barrel-aged wine, right? She should be able to pick up some of the oakiness from this barrel. It's only been used a couple times so far, so we should still have a little bit of that fresh oak element in there. And there you have it. Whoop, as I throw the funnel out. Oops. I'm going to keep that bottle because the wine's going to go back in there. We'll set that to the side. And again, like I tell you guys, I'm going to write my date on the back of this barrel. That way I know how long it's actually been in there. Let's give this Sam Adams a go. Man, that's very peculiar. It's good. I almost get the note of like leather and almost like a soy sauce. I definitely pick up that there's some kind of wine in there. So in addition to American bourbon barrels, we use Scotch and peated whiskey barrels. The peated whiskey barrels add a wisp of smoke to the flavor. Yeah, smoke. Definitely there. There you go. Then a ruby port and Caracovis cask from Portugal. That's that wine. And then cognac barrels from France bring dark fruit notes. So you definitely get that dark fruit. So this beer is actually, so the first 3,000 decanters of this beer are set aside for workers at Sam Adams. So that's pretty neat. On the bottom down here, I have 3,166. So you can find that limited number on the bottom of these. You know, is it worth 280 bucks? To get to try it, yeah. Would I buy it again? Absolutely not. So as we sit here and as I'm talking to you guys, I can taste that dryness of the wine kick in. It's not super dry, but I can definitely, I can taste it. It's a bar pour. If you find it out somewhere, it's definitely worth taking a pour. Is it worth the chase? Probably not. Will I be interested in picking up next year's? Yeah, I will. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight on Fresh Crack Friday. If you guys don't care, leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It helps us grow the channel here at Barreled Chronicles. It gets everybody involved. It lets people be aware of our barrels that aren't normally there, right? Once we can break the algorithm, once we can get out there, get more involved with more people, it helps us grow, and it's greatly appreciated by me. So thank you guys, and here's your Fresh Crack Friday. Hope you guys have a great weekend.
Thank you.